the return was a latecomer into the translated versions of Dulce's work, because in fact it had been translated already into most major European languages, so it's wonderful to see how these books take flight. And so, you know, that there are other translators working and sort of, you know, making those choices and decisions that Dulce talks about in their own languages. And Dulce has always been, as far as our relationship goes, incredibly generous in always describing these books as our books, our novels, for which I'm very, very grateful. So.
And Angel,
ours.
How much did you discuss? I mean, did you consult Dulce a lot about queries you had about the translation or things you were in doubt, or there was a lot of Dulce's input or not?
So Dulce can correct me if my memory fails, but not much consultation. I think partly because I wanted to show that I was a competent translator. And so I didn't want to be, you know, interrupting her work with all my queries. And so when I did have doubts, I sort of, well, I tried to work them out on my own. And when I couldn't, I left them to one side. And it's always at the end of the process where I will usually approach Dulce. And I remember doing that with a return, but it was literally towards the end of the book, and said, look, I have about sort of, you know, 3 very precise questions. And she was able to fill me in. And there were some which were about language or places, but there was one where there was something that was implied. So it's the character of the uncle who had been in the military, was gay, and so had suffered abuse while he was in the army. And it's something that it's hinted at, but not made explicit. And so, you know, I had to say, so Dulce, what do you mean when Rui says this? And so she explained what the background to that idea was. And so that was essential in sort of bringing it all together. But I try not to bother Dulce again, you know, so that she feels that I know what I'm doing.
you know.
You did a good job.
Yeah.
Excellent job.